everybody? Welcome back to Big Things Kentucky. Kroger Field, we grocery shopping, Coach. Day 2.
Have no fear. Big Things Kentucky here. I'm Coach B, my man, Coach CB on the side. Coach Trump, what's good, sir?
Coach, man, we was kind of hoping we'd have more teams here from Lexington, but we get our crown jewel here for the primetime game. But starting things off Saturday at noon, we got the 3A game. We got number 1 in the RPI, Cal, 14-0, who we did get a chance to get a peek at, versus Bardstown, 14-0. Number 2 in the RPI, Coach David Clark, here with Bardstown head coach, Coach David Clark, as his Bardstown Tigers get ready to take on the Cal Centurions at Kroger Field. Coach, man, first of all, congratulations on a great season. Just kind of tell us a little bit about this year, Coach.
Well, it's been a really good year. We started the season off, went down to Bowling Green and played the Greenwood Gators, had a really nice team, and were able to get a win there and really caught the momentum for the whole season. We're able to overcome some adversity. We lost our number 1 running back week 4, and had a kid step up and was named as Tyleek Williams, able to step up and just have an unbelievable year and really carry us for the whole season.
Yeah, Coach, man, a very balanced attack as far as offense. You got a young man, Braden Clark, you talked about 1,300 yards passing, 15 touchdowns. Then you come back with a running back, Coach, Tyleek Williams, 1,788 yards, 25 touchdowns. Coach can't get more balanced than that. If you want to speak about those young men briefly, and who else you lean on that offense to get you all to 14-0?
Another big playmaker for us is Shannon Tongue. He's our leading receiver. He has over 30-some catches. He also runs the ball for us. He's a big special teams player for us, punt returns and kickoff returns. Pretty dynamic kid to watch play.
How you get ready for this team, Coach?
Well, we try to approach this team like we have all season. They're very well balanced. They don't have very many holes. They don't have any holes on all 3 phases of the game. They're good in all positions. So we're going to try to do what we do and play extremely hard. That's been one of our things that we try to do is fly to the football, play physical, play hard.
Man, Coach, I don't think you can find more evenly matched teams than you, Louisville Cal. Louisville Cal is giving up 109 points for this year. This Bardstown defense, Coach, has only gave up 173 points all year on a 14-0 record. How impressive is that, Coach, for your defense and that defensive staff of yours?
Well, earlier in the season that we really felt like our defense was going to carry us. We had quite a few starters back from last year, and that the defense is what created our identity. Really physical play, try to be physical, try to be fast, play fast to the ball, play physical. And you do those 2 things, you're going to win some football games. So we've been really pleased with the way the defense has carried us, and then it's allowed our offense to kind of, get better as the season has come through.
Well, Coach, man, as you get ready for this game, what's it going to take for y'all to get this win?
We're gonna have to play a complete game. All 3 phases. Going to have to play really good defense, and then try to win the line of scrimmage, which that's pretty much a formula for any football game. When you can win in the trenches, you usually win the game.
Now, I'm gonna say that I asked this, and I'm gonna let you go. Now, for guys like Coach Trump, who's a bandwagon fan, he done jumped on Louisville Cal already, Coach. I'm gonna tell you now, he gonna jump on Louisville Cal. How do you motivate your kids? I mean, being 14-0, how do you motivate your kids? Say, look, man, we got a chance like everybody else got a chance. So, how important is it to motivate these kids? Let them know, hey, they just another team across the field. Just another Friday night.
What's really special about this group is it doesn't take motivation. They love football, they love to play, and they don't back away from any challenge. So that's what's really cool about this group. So it hadn't taken it's the next game, and this is the last one. So they're pretty motivated to play and really looking forward to the challenge.
All right, Coach. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and like I said, thanks for coming on, Coach, and good luck.
I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Coach. Have a good one now.
All right, you too.
Man, great interview, Coach.
Versus Coach Hunter Cantwell. Coach, man, hey, immovable object versus what the other one is, or something force or whatever. Yeah, that Isaac Newton stuff, I'm messing that up. I'm out of my depth. But Coach,
You
man,
threw it all up. All I know is, Coach, it's going to be a stopper knocker there. But I like Louisville Cal. They've been impressive this year. From what I've seen from them, Coach, a lot of tough cats out there. Well-coached team. Give me Louisville Cal, Coach.
Man, Cal has just seemed to have been the dominant team. I think they might be one of those all-class, number one teams, ranking type teams. So, yeah, Coach, I'm going to go with Cal on this one. All right, Coach. Now at 4 p.m., we got the 6A game, Coach. The biggest of the bigs. Coach, I know. Go on get it out, Coach. Go on get it out, man. So close.
Coach, it breaks my heart, man. My defenders ain't in it. Shout out to all the Ducks like Coach, Colton, Eisenbach, ODG. I didn't get to coach it. Met a great group of senior class. They were the resurgence for Brian Central football, man. And if they're young, they'd be bad, but it broke my heart, Coach. We was ready to bring the north side of Kroger Field. You think the Holler stuff went to the north side show up, Coach, but we couldn't get an invitation, Coach. We ain't making it. Maybe next year.
Coach. Now, to get ready for this game, we brought on special guests. Up first, we got 6A head coach, my man, Coach Chris Wolfe of the Louisville Male Bulldogs.
We had to deal with a lot of adversity, losing some really elite players. Solomon Connolly, who was our number 2 tackler, Mike linebacker, he missed 5 weeks in the middle of the year. It's been a struggle. Manual was the first game where we had Max Gainey back and Daniel Sweeney back on the same field at the same time. And we've been on a nice little run. It's been tough. Like, there haven't been blowouts, but we've been able to advance each week, obviously. I think we played the second toughest schedule in the state next to Trinity. And if you look at the teams that we've played, I think their overall record is like 113 and 75 or 113 and 65. We played a lot of good teams. And so, losing to Ballard and St. X and Ron Colley in Indiana and Bullitt East, those are all really good teams. Obviously, Bullitt East in the state finals. So when you lose 4 games like that, you hope to learn from that, and I think we did. And we had, football is about players, and it helps to have your best players on the field. But injuries are part of the game, so sometimes you have them, sometimes you don't. You got to overcome it, and sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So that's just the way the game is.
So here you are. Legendary finish, great season. As one thing we've been talking about the show is kind of like everybody. The theme of this season is get their lick back. So now you guys get a chance to avenge a early season loss, a late season loss against Bullitt East. How are you taking this game going into the state finals?
Well, I think if people were doubting Bullitt East, they know that Bullitt East is for real. Mm-hmm. I can't speak for Mr. Football because it's not fair. I don't know the rest of the state. I think I have credibility in talking about 6A Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. And Bullitt East has got 2 that I would vote. Their quarterback, Egan, can throw it. He can run it. He's tough as nails. He can run it inside. He can run it outside. He makes plays with his feet. And then the number 2, I think it's Brogan. Mm-hmm. Their receiver, slot receiver, he's fantastic. And he plays defense. Those 2 guys would be pick 1 and 2. So their offense is the best offense easily that we've seen in 6A. And that's not hyperbole. It is a fact. And so it is a huge challenge. When those guys are on, they can throw it. They can run it. They can +1 you with the quarterback in the box. Mm-hmm. They can double move you with number 2, who's got phenomenal hips. And he makes contested catches. So I don't know if I'm answering your question. I'm just telling you what's on my mind. How are we going to slow these guys down? They look like a team of destiny as far as a Bullet East team that you don't see in a generation. They are phenomenal. So we've got obviously our work cut out for us to try to slow this offense down. They scored 55, as you know, I believe, against Bryan Station.
Oh.
Bryan Station's got a pretty good defense. They held training to just 7 points. So
yes. So now, what's it going to take? Like, what's it going to take for your male Bulldogs to get this win, Coach? What's it going to take for us to pull this off?
Well, it's we've got to figure out a way to slow down their offense. They're really good on fourth down. That's what I was just watching before I came on here. Their conversion rate on fourth down is off the charts, which makes sense when you have a dynamic quarterback who I think is 6A player of the year. And so they can extend drives like no one I've seen and keep our offense off the field. So we've got to find a way to mitigate some of that fourth down conversion that they get. Could try to control number 2 some, but it's going to come down to teams making plays. And can our guys step up and match them play for play? And we've got some good players: Max Gainey, Daniel Sweeney, Antonio Harris. Can those guys offensively make plays and match them? And can we be clean enough to where we're not getting penalties and putting us in long yardage situations? But, the state finals is always about, usually it's the team that makes the fewest mistakes. That's usually, and if the teams are even, then it's going to be guys that make big plays, the 50-50 catches, quarterbacks that make a play that the coach didn't script. He goes back to pass, he gets pressure, he takes off and scores a touchdown. That's what state finals usually is with 2 really good teams.
Man, great interview with Coach Wolfe. I know you spent half the time probably slobbering over him, your man crush. You got so many man crush, I lose. I'm glad you never put the interview together about me there coaching you through it. You the starry eyes and stuff. You don't look your family like that.
Hey, lots of good stuff from him. Now, we talked to Coach Keegan Kendrick last week, the week before the Bryan Station game.
Man, I'm telling you what, Coach, watch that Bullet. I know you were sick, and everybody's mad at you, Pick Station, by the way. You jinxed.
So it's my fault.
It's your fault. And I said it in a group text with our friends, it was your fault. And I meant everything I said. But anyway, that Bullet East team surprised me, Coach. I thought we'd see some slow kids come down here, grab the pad, but they was grabbing the pad. They was ducking and diving with the pass because they was very impressive. Defense was nice. They gave up 40-some-odd points. But, they really buckled down in the fourth quarter and held Bryan Station offense in check. And that pick 6 by that young man was definitely the game changer, Coach.
Well, Coach, man, on this one, I know Bullet East almost seems like a team of destiny. They beat Mayo earlier, but Coach, like my man Cameron Dunn said, I think this is the year of get my lick back. Coach, give me Mayo to get this championship, Coach.
Coach, Mayo had a tough game against Ballard. I thought Ballard was going to pull it off, but I think Mayo is in true Mayo form right now. Give me Mayo as well, Coach.
All right, Coach. Now, Coach, prime time, baby. Them 8-5 Broncos from the north in Kroger Field, Coach. Can we all just get along, Coach?
And I'm telling you this, man. Hats off to Douglas, Coach Mcpeek, that staff over there. A talented group of young men. It was no doubt after the first game of the year we knew they would be here. So it's no surprise that they're there. Now the job is, can they finish the job and get this state championship for the city of Lexington? And Lexington, please get behind these kids. Regardless of how you feel about what transpired, I know that parents and jerks on Facebook sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But, man, support these kids. That's what it's all about. Show love to these young men. And let's see if they can bring it home for us.
Coach, man, we got a chance to talk to Coach Mark Spader again from Bowling Green. Friend of the program, really enjoys the show. Here's that interview. Coach,
hello
again, Coach. We're going to start penciling you in, Coach. We're just going to put this on the calendar.
That would be nice. I took a year off last year. You didn't call me, so 6 and 6 won't get you on the big show here.
Yeah. That's Coach Bue's fault, though. So, Coach, man, like you say, you had I guess you could say a down year. I don't know what you call it, but you took a year off and now back again, Coach. Just kind of tell us about this version of the Bowling Green Purples and how this season went for you.
Well, it was a disappointing year. Good group of kids, but just South Warren was a big dog over in our district last year. They had a loaded team, and of course, they took care of business at the end of the year there. So we went into January and winter program, and we're a program with high expectations. So we put a lot of pressure on our kids. We were unable to have winter program the previous winter because of COVID. So, we had to get right, and we poured the coal to our kids, and they responded, and our seniors pulled us out of the back end of it, and it's been a fun year.
Now, Coach, I like to get into the tough stuff here, Coach. I'm going to talk about this schedule, Coach. You decided to go play North Hardin up in Bowling Green. You got McCracken County beat up on there. You got play PRP, which is I think a 5A, 6A school. Hopkinsville, Boyle County. You go to Tennessee, play a team. You got South Warren, which you beat them. You play Say Next, Coach. I mean, you was on murderer's road, but these boys still came out and look good though. Heads off to you. What made you play such a tough schedule this year?
Well, part of it is I feel like we need to, and as a program, we decided years ago when we went on our run that you got to play some good teams during the year to get ready for those playoff situations. To put your kids in those pressure situations against excellent opponents. Then you find out what you're good and bad at. But we also have the problem because we've won so much that nobody wants to play us around here. So it's just a matter of trying to find teams that'll play us, and a lot of them are in the same boat. So, we've had to hook up with them, and beyond getting nicked up and beat up a little bit in some of these games, it does pay off for us, particularly defensively this year. That string we went on from Boyle to South Warren to St. X, our defense kept evolving, and I give it to my kids. They were very coachable. We kept adjusting, and, it's paid off now through the playoffs for us.
Now, Coach, you had this great season, and you've done everything, and you get to Kroger, and across the field is what some people might say one of the best teams in the state this season, all classes. Them Douglas Broncos, Coach Buell's a big fan, so, don't let his biasness get to you, Coach.
I know that.
I'm pretty sure Coach Spader watches the games, watches the show. He know who the fan is.
That's right. I know.
Where's your shirt at?
Looking at this team, and everything they've done, how do you tackle that? When you got done Friday night and you got the win and you knew this was what you were doing, what's the first thing on your mind? Like, how do you address going into this game?
Well, you can't help but all year you're talking about them. The younger coaches on my staff and the players, they know who Frederick Douglass is. And my job was to keep us focused week to week on who do we have this week. But we all knew at the end of the road they were going to be the big dogs left up in there. And, it's one of the few times that I think we're the underdog. I mean, we really got nothing to lose. They're the number one team. And they've been there multiple times. They're going to try to win their title. And, we just want to have another great week of practice and go get after them, and let's see what happens.
The coach, real quick, man, a well-balanced attack on offense, almost 3,000 passing yards by Deuce Bailey. Then you got Javen Huddleston with almost 1,200 yards rushing. Impressive. Then you got three young men with over 110 tackles in Jake Napier, Grayson Newman, and Davis Fant. How much have you leaned on these young men on that defense, and how special is this defense?
Well, as I said, they have paid off through the playoffs here. We've played some really good running teams. We played a team last week that was averaging about 280 a game, and our varsity gave up about 60 yards to them. So we swarmed to the ball. Multiple players made tackles, but those 3 or 4 up there, if you throw Fan in the mix, they're getting after it right now. So we know defensively we got a work cut out for us. They've got 3 running backs that can get after it. And then they're going to let number 9 take his shots every now and then, the 3 really good receivers out there. The exciting matchup, though, is you talked about our balanced offense. Our offense wasn't very exciting last year. We had a freshman quarterback at that time. a young offensive line that has now come back. I think the offensive line is probably one of the stronger points of our team. So now we're going to face a team that their defensive line is the strong point of their team. So it's a heck of a matchup. I mean, that defense of Frederick Douglass is all that. And I think from my standpoint, if I had to defend our offense, it's pretty tough. They're really balanced. Deuce does a great job of staying calm back there and running our offense. And they've been a lot of fun to watch this year.
Now, there's one question I got to ask, Coach. Probably they got to be one of the first families of Bowling Green. Are there any more fans left, Coach?
Well,
it seems like every year there's a fan on there that's just doing – he's an athlete, Coach.
Well, this fan's not quite from that family, but I love the name. Don't get me wrong. So I haven't looked that far into our youth yet, but I'll take a dingle any day here. So
yes, sir.
Send them my way.
Shout out to that family. Y'all doing big things. Well, Coach, man, as you go into this game, like you've talked about, everything in that, what's it going to take to get this win, Coach?
Well, it's all coach speak, but it is what it is. I mean, we've got to give our offense as many opportunities as they can to possess the ball and try to put together some offense. So we've got to tackle well, and then special teams are going to be such a big thing. And then after that, we didn't turn over people very much during the regular season, but come playoff time, we've created some turnovers. And if you can win a turnover battle and the special teams battle, that's going to give you a heck of a chance. So, they've got a lot of kids. If they find a seam, they'll make you pay. We got to get them down. We got to make them earn their points. And then on the flip side of that, our offense has to keep plugging and do what they've done most of the year and find ways to score.
All right, Coach. Coach, do you got anything else for Coach, man?
Coach, I look, I'm feeling you, Coach. I'm almost there with you. You ain't convinced him because he ain't changing. He's gonna get his orange shirt on here in a minute. That's my 8 Broncos, baby.
That's fine. That's fine. We all got to have our team. I've got my purple on.
No, Coach, you supposed to be that way, Coach. He's supposed to be neutral. He's supposed to be a professional.
No, he can have his team.
You know what, Coach? I like it, Coach. Thank you for being. I understand, Coach. I understand.
Well, Coach, man, we wish you the best of luck. We know it's going to be a great game. We enjoy seeing the Purples anytime we get a chance. Like we talked to, I know one guy, Ty Bryant, his dad, Cisco Bryant.
Cisco's a fine man.
He's got them Bowling Green ties. So it's going to be interesting to see where his heart goes come Saturday night.
It'll be with his son, as it should be. That's his blood right there. But he does have love for the Purples. Yes, he was a great Purple for us.
Yes, sir. Well, we wish you the best of luck, Coach. And,
no, you don't. You don't wish me any luck.
Coach, man, I wish you luck, Coach.
Don't you say that. Just don't wish any harm on us. That's all.
Coach, I appreciate that. Coach, I wish you luck.
Thank you so much,
Good
Coach.
luck Friday. Saturday. We'll see you Saturday night. Prime time, Coach. Prime
right.
time game.
I'll see you one way or the other after the game, hopefully with a second interview.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks for having me, guys. I really enjoy it.
Appreciate it.
All right, see y'all.
Man, great by Coach Spader. I love him, man. I'm so glad he watches the show. He called you on your bull stuff, talking about you don't really wish him luck. You against him. Many men wish death upon me. On 56 off, Coach. That's what he's saying to you. That's what he's saying. Where your orange shirt at? Let's go. Go to make your
Coach, man, I'm being unbiased right now, Coach. We also got a chance to catch up with our man, Coach Mcpeek. We here with Frederick Douglass head coach, my man, 859 Broncos, Coach Nathan Mcpeek. Coach, man, 14-0, the crown jewel election. You heard it all, Coach, man. Just kind of tell us about this season, Coach.
Well, first off, thanks for having me. I hope you guys are doing well. You had a good Thanksgiving. And I would also like to congratulate Coach Hawkins and Bryan Station and Coach Charles for LCA. I was hopeful all three of us would be in the state championship. So those guys had great teams, great years. So I wanted to say that first and foremost. But we've been good all year. Our defense is very elite. We're going to have to play really, really good football on Saturday night defensively. We've given up 60 points, and it's really 13 games because we had one forfeit. But that's historical to give up 60 points in 14 games. Like I said, really 13. But, I mean, our defense is fun to watch. Coach Poe and our D staff do a great job. A lot of people just think it's just because we're athletic. Well, we are, but they also know the game. They're well coached. They all sprint to the ball. They're all really good tacklers. It's fun to watch. Obviously, offensively, we haven't played as well as I want to the last couple of weeks, but part of that is we're playing good people. We're playing good teams. But our kids have done a great job all year, and hopefully we can finish it out the right way. But really proud of them. We've basically, been the number one team since May. So, I think pressure is a privilege, and I tell people that all the time. Great job by our kids and our staff all year long and all of our support people, and excited to finish out the year the right way, hopefully.
Thank Coach, man. I got a couple of different questions. I guess this first will be a two-parter. Then I'll let Coach Truck chime in. First of all, your starters probably didn't see a lot of full game action prior to the Woodford County game, I think it's safe to say. So was that a gift or a curse that you was able to kind of keep their minutes down, not have them play a lot? And then two, my second part is, Coach, how did you keep these young men kind of humble and still hungry? Because I know a lot of cats are all about good numbers and stuff, but these young men came out and balled for the name on the front of the jersey and did everything. They're just as humble as you was, Coach. So hats off to you for controlling that environment. So how did you keep everybody humble? But hey, it's not about your numbers; it's about the bigger goal. And then, of course, do you feel like it was a gift or the curse to having the not playing a lot of games until probably Woodford County?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Boyle game we played really well. Most of our kids kind of got 4 quarters in that game, even though it was 37-6. But yeah, I mean, obviously you get guys healthy throughout the year. You don't have as many injuries when you're not playing full games. And that's just the reality. We're going into week 15 and we're relatively fairly healthy, which is kind of unheard of in high school football when you're in week 15. So, but we've definitely been tested the last couple of weeks. We've had to play full games, obviously. Our playoff schedule this year was a lot harder than it probably was the last couple of years being interdistrict, just because we know each other so well. And, we probably wouldn't have played Woodford if they didn't get upset by Simon Kenton. It'd probably been a state finals type game as well. So, we had to play them. Obviously, Covington Catholic was top 5 all year. We had to play them in the second round. And then, Owensboro, they're not scared of us because we played 4 years in a row. And they were really good on defense. So I don't necessarily think it was a bad thing, but we definitely been tested going into the state championship game, probably more than we were in 19 and last year going into this round. So I'm hopeful that'll help. I don't know. Well, we're playing a great team that's hot right now. But, being humble is who I am. I still coach O-line, and I think our team is an extension of me, like most head coaches. You kind of want to be an extension of you. I think that's kind of how our team plays. They kind of have an even keel about them. We have a lot of experience, that has played a lot of big football games. So hopefully we continue, just to be that way and stay kind of even keel through good and bad. I think we've really done a good job of that the last couple of weeks. I think most teams that wouldn't have that probably wouldn't have won those games. But our kids found a way, and their will to win was really important. But, our offense, like I said, our offense hadn't played real well the last couple of weeks. I'm hopeful that we'll come out and have a good performance on Saturday because we're going to need it because Bowling Green's offense is really good.
Now, that's one thing, being, I guess you want to say, the home team. You guys are the only team from Lexington. We've been here, expectations, like you talked about the pressure, Tell us, how are you going to, what's it like going into this game, Coach?
Well, first off, it's a blessing. I think a lot of people just assume that this happens. You got to have talent, but there's a lot of things that go into being in a state championship game. I mean, I think a lot of people kind of around here kind of underappreciate the fact that, we've been in 3 state championship games in 6 years. A school back home where I'm from, Ashland Paul Blazer, which won the 3A a couple of years ago. I saw in the other day in local newspaper, my dad sent it to me because they still live back there. They've been a program for 55 years, and they've only practiced on Thanksgiving 7 times. We've been able to do it 4 years in a row. So I don't take that stuff for granted. It's a blessing to be able to do this. Obviously, we want to win this game. We want to perform well in this game. But I still don't think it takes away from kind of what we've done in 6-year time span. I mean, if we're able to be a state champion this Saturday night, it'll be our 70th win in 6 years. So that's, again, we have talent, we have good players, but there's a lot that goes into that. And a lot of people, I don't think, see that necessarily from the outside. But there's a lot that goes into that from our coaches, sacrifices, our players to get to where we need to get.
Coach, man, one more, and I'll let Coach Truck close out. Man, I think it's hard to believe, but it is so much success you had in this little bit of time. Now you might not say it, Coach, because you are humble and you like to be low key, but this has got to be your best team that we've seen come through President Douglas in these short few years. I mean, D1 cats all over the place. You've had D1 cats all over the place for years, but I mean, Coach, top to bottom, man, it's a luxury of riches, I can say.
Yeah, defensively, definitely, because we're really good at all 3 levels. We've had good defenses, since our first year, but we haven't been necessarily this talented and deep at all 3 levels. Offensively, obviously we have good backs. We have a pretty good O-line. Cole's had a pretty good year at quarterback, hadn't turned the ball over, managed the game. We've probably had more explosive players with Samuel and Dane and Hayden Hunt and, Micah Lowe and those type guys on offense and Fishback. Those guys were very talented. But overall, probably with experience and, how deep our defense is, I would agree with you in the fact that, they are elite. I think our defense is elite regardless of the outcome on Saturday. Like I said, we were really good on defense a year ago and gave up 36 to South Warren. We did stuff we hadn't done all year in that game. Credit to them. But I'm hopeful that our guys learned their lesson from that last year. They have experience in this game and we can play much better defense. That's my hope. But we're playing a really hot offense right now with a really good dual threat quarterback. That's a 10th grader, and he's legit. I mean, he's a great, great athlete. So we got to do a really good job against him because he can scramble. He's got a great arm, and they got a pretty good O-line and good running back. So we'll definitely be tested, and hopefully we can play well.
All right, Coach. Now I'm going to ask you the main question. What's it going to take for us to get this championship Saturday, Coach?
Well, the first thing is we got to be pretty clean in penalties. We haven't had a ton of penalties the last couple of weeks, but we've had penalties when we don't need them offensively. We haven't been super efficient on first down on offense. The last couple of games, we've been 33% efficient. Not to get too analytical with you, but that's not good. We want to be in that 60 to 70% range. And that's part of the reason we struggled offensively is defense has done a good job against us on first down. Because when you're not efficient there, you get in third and longs, and those are hard to convert against good teams. So first down offense is going to be super important for us, whether it's a throw or a run, and obviously turning the ball over. That's important as well. We got to take care of the ball. The main difference between us and Owensboro is they had 4 turnovers. We had 1. So that's why we won the game. But I think that's important. And obviously we got to play good, solid defense, run to the ball, and we can't let the quarterback, get out of the pocket too much to make plays because their big plays come when he scrambles out of the pocket. So we got to do a really good job of that. I am honored that we're the last high school football game in the entire state for this season on Saturday night. It's going to be a long day on Saturday, a lot of anxious moments. And I've already told the kids it's going to be a long day on Saturday, but we'll do what we can to kind of manage it and, come out and hopefully explode on Saturday night. But appreciate everything you all do. Appreciate, everything that people support these kids with. And like I said, hopefully we can get it done. There's no guarantees. Everybody's good in the finals. I think you're going to get a lot of great games with all of them. It's pretty much some of the best teams. The RPI worked again, even though a lot of people don't like it. You're getting a lot of the best matchups. So it's going to be a great weekend of football. I'm personally excited. I'm going to go over on Friday and watch it, be part of the environment. I enjoy that. So I'm going to go enjoy those games on Friday and, get ready for this game on Saturday.
Now, Coach, we've heard from Coach Mcpeek. We heard from Coach Spader. Do you give Bowling Green a chance, or is this just, the culmination of what's supposed to be?
Man, watching them over the year and their schedule, see how tough they play, I'm really impressed with them. Not saying Douglas has had any cupcakes, but they wouldn't play Boyle County at Boyce back there, beat TTU that team up north in Scott County. So, Coach, I can't knock them. You know what I'm saying? They both of them play tough schedules. Did what they're supposed to do, win. I think it's just too much pressure Douglas and Bowling Green, Coach. This has to be the year, Coach. This is probably the deepest Douglas team we've ever seen put together in their short time. So, give me Frederick Douglass, Coach.
All right, Coach. I'm 8-5 Broncos. Let's go, baby. I'm going to be on the field celebrating. Y'all be looking out for me in the celebration pictures, baby.
Sickening, dog. Sickening. That's why nobody in the city likes us.
Well, Coach, on that note, man, a great weekend of state championship games. Shout out to KHSAA for doing another great year, having a great season. We want to give a shout out to all the Big Things County schools. They had a great season for our area, Coach. I think this is one of the best seasons we've had since we've been doing this.
Man, like we talked several times with coaches, this is probably the best group of coaches we've had in the city at one time. And, man, we very, very, very well could have had 3 teams in state championship games and 2-8 LCA. Folks, quit forgetting about LCA. They might be a little private school, but they are a Lexington school with Lexington kids that came through these routes. So support LCA too. But shout out, man. We could have had LCA. We could have had very well had Catholic there. Great year by these kids. I'm telling you, great, great year.
All right, Coach. Well, you got anything else before we enjoy this weekend, Coach?
No, sir. Hey, be on the lookout. I don't know if I'm going to say this. Be on the lookout for the All Big Things team coming soon. We're going to work on it right now. Coaches, check your emails. We sending emails at Coach Truckwheel. Hey, we try to find the best group of young men. And this time we're going to do it all the way right. So be looking out for it, man, Coach. We're looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
It's always best to be a living donor. I'm Coach B, my man, Coach TB on the side. Coach Truck.
Peace.